Hello and welcome to the Let's Play series of Star Wars Empire at War with the Awakening of the Rebellion mod, Part 15, the long-awaited sequel to Part 14 that was supposed to happen way earlier than it really did. So last time we left off with the Zar Tactical Mission, which I have a handy tutorial for, passing if you don't know how to pass it, and then some random shenanigans that I already forget since it was a month ago. But I do remember this Felucia stuff, and I remember someone commenting on the old video telling me not to send the fleet to, or to leave a token fleet, and then I didn't, and now that fleet has then retreated, which was like consisting of like a couple Venators or something. And so now I'm just fighting like Imperial patrol vessels, and this one just gets caught in tractor beams and just decimated. And the second one thinks he's funny and tries to run away. Now here, what you just saw was an amazing composition of ships. You saw the bulk cruisers, which tractor beamed the ship in, which is the only tractor beam ship that the Rebellion has. So it's great for tracking down small ships. And then you have this, which is the Corellian Corvette doing its intended job. This is what this ship was made for, and that's chasing down random patrol vessels or random ships that your other ships would take ages to track down. And then you could see how quickly it disposes of ships, and it's a pretty good handy tool. It's also really handy as a if you send it in first in front of your fleet, and then it traverses most of the map with the thrusters on, and then you hyperspace your ships in afterwards. So here I'm just doing some Galaxy touch-ups, meaning moving Bail Organa to steal some more resources, and then you're going to see the invasion of Felucia, which is going to be awesome. And then we lose a system here. We lose an intersection. Somehow the pirates got all the way through. It's a very random positioning. Like, they just took this random intersection for no reason. And now Bothawi is blocked off, so I can't return. And as you could see, Zar down there was also empty because of the Zar Tactical Mission. So I used that infiltrator that I sent a couple episodes before, and I'm going to infiltrate an empty planet. So I basically get a free planet out of it. It's a really good strategy, and you should always have that ready for when you attack Zar and finish that mission. Oh yeah, so the Battle of Felucia. So if you recall, the whole Felucia, like, it got captured, recaptured over and over again, and I finally decided to muster a force. These are the Kamino troops being led by Obi-Wan. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? Of course, I'm alluding to Attack of the Clones, because a similar scenario happens, I guess you could say. But my forces are met right away with a stupid auto turret that cuts down a couple troops. It's a shame. But here you're going to see Obi-Wan. Okay, Obi-Wan puts on this like hiking gear, this backpack, and he's gonna carry the team on his back. Okay, so just get ready for this. Well, right now it doesn't seem like he's needed, but just in a little bit you'll see. I underestimated this planet's forces just by a tad, because I forgot that the Empire's buildings actually provide them with a lot of units, a lot of free units. It's like the Imperial bases. All they do is just add an immense amount of troops for the Empire, but they don't actually provide them with any way to build. They're just basically just a garrison of troops, and I kind of forgot about that. But fear not, Obi-Wan just reflecting laser blast with his lightsaber and just tearing these walkers apart. So if you thought that was a small force, now is when we get met with heavy resistance. So at first I thought I was going to totally lose this battle after seeing all these walkers come in. But fear not, Obi-Wan is a trained Jedi who shouldn't actually even be alive at this point in the story. But I guess you still get to use him, and thankfully we do, because look at him destroy every walker. Um, Now, you know what? I'm giving him a little too much credit. I think that the real credit that should be given here is the missile launcher people um, in the rebel troop battalion, because they are destroying these walkers pretty quick. But Obi-Wan, of course, at least he's taken the most of the fire, because I'm pretty sure I would have lost a lot of troops had the walkers targeted my troops instead of Obi-Wan. You can see he just deflects laser blasts like a madman, and then the rockets take out the wounded walkers. So yeah, so I definitely suggest using your Jedi as frontal assault forces. Definitely don't keep them on defense, because they're not... Okay, if you're following my strategy for defending a planet, which would be, you know, shield generator, turbo laser, store some troops, all that, and you pick the right planets, then a Jedi on a defensive planet is completely unnecessary. First of all, because the Jedi has to actually approach his targets. So usually what that ends up happening is that he walks outside of the shield and orbital bombardment on his face. And then he doesn't survive. So it's better to do... better to put the Jedi on an offensive attack, which, you know, avoids any orbital bombardments, of course, but it just... the defenders usually do not have heroes. I say usually because sometimes they might. Normally they don't, though. They usually just have, like what you see here, a bunch of, you know, preset units. And so the heroes usually, not only do they provide you with bonuses, combat bonuses and the like, you know, they're usually not going to get cheap-shotted by orbital bombardments, because defenders can't orbitally bombard unless you're sneak attacking a planet. I've had this happen before. Okay, so in a previous campaign, I sneak attacked with infiltrators a planet where there were Star Destroyers above. And then I'm like, oh, I'm totally going to win this. But then I kind of forgot to realize that, wait, they still have ships overhead. So, you know, that ended pretty quickly. Now I'm a little bit more careful with that sort of stuff. But we win the battle at Felucia. And if you recall, this was the fleet with Mon Mothma that were taking her to Kamino. Or not Kamino, Mon Calamari, water planets, same thing. So we're gonna actually attack Onderon on the way. First, we're gonna wait for this infiltrator to, you know, attack Zar. There you go. You get it really quick, because if you don't take advantage of that, the AI will eventually capture it. So you might as well capture it, start building. Honestly, though, I might lose it pretty quickly. I wouldn't be surprised if I don't, because all that there is on that planet is just a infiltrator, and they could pretty easily attack me. So hopefully that goes my way. Unlike this battle, which does not go my way. Let me tell you why. There's this one unit that the Black Sun have that they're called Mandalorian or soldiers, Mandalorian mercenaries, something like to that effect. And what they do is that if they're in close proximity of a vehicle, they disable the vehicle. And I'm just going to leave it at that and let the battle commence so I don't spoil too much. But let's just say the bigger they are, the harder they fall. So, okay. Onderon is a weird planet. It's a good defense planet, which is the reason I'm attacking it. It has one of those scenarios where you have the shield generator encased in the shield, and you can very easily defend it. And the rebels also get the civilians. Not that they're worth anything, but, you know, cannon fodder is good, I guess, if you don't want to lose your own troops. So basically what I'm just going to do is I'm going to just, you know, very recklessly attack right away at their base. You could see that they have that landing zone captured on the top right, middle, whatever part of the minimap. And the way the AI kind of works on defense sometimes is that they send their extra forces to the reinforcement pad, thinking that you're going to capture the reinforcement pad to get more troops, and that's where they'll meet you. However, I have Garm Bel Iblis with his, platform of slaughter, and I don't need that. So I just go and attack their base right away. And of course, it could be used. This platform can be used as a carrier, so I take out the rebel infantry, build a turret, and now seems like I'm doing pretty good, right? Like, I just destroyed one of their bases. They're in full retreat. Their second base is getting destroyed. It's looking pretty good, right? I guess. But all of a sudden, their main attack force comes in, and you see the blue guys. The blue guys disable Garm Bel Iblis. I don't realize this right away, and you can see the shield is dropping. I'm like, why can't he move? And then I'm like, oh crap, they have Mandalorian infantry. So then I call in a bombing run. Garm Bel Iblis is losing hard points. I use his shield to no effect because he has no shields, and I'm like, you know what? I think I'm going to lose this. So now I'm just waiting for this bombing run to come in. I'm like, please, please. But they don't make it on time. But I do take out their whole attack force in one fell swoop. However, all I have left is these infantry people. And my turret, which is doing a dandy job. So I have to call in air support because infantry will take way too long to get there. And I lose Garm Bel Iblis, which sets me back fleet-wise in space. Because ground-wise, sure, I can just build some infantry and it'll be all right. But I lose his dreadnoughts in space, and that was a main part of my attack force. So I'm probably not going to be able to do much else in space. Onderon's going to have to be a stopping point. I'm going to have to hope the Han Solo thing works with Mon Mothma. Also, in this playthrough, I realized that those speeders are actually really, really useful. At least early game. Early game, they're really useful. Later on, when, tanks and the like start to appear, and planets start getting more defended with turbo laser towers and such, and they will, trust me. Like, some of the land battles get a little bit intense. These air speeders are really good in the beginning. So yeah, but this land battle kind of didn't go my way. This other hero, I forget what his name is, because there's two of these heroes that basically have the same ship, and they're just transport people. They're actually really good at assaulting forces as well. They also give you bonuses for your ground troops. So if you don't have, like I said, you should always at least have like some kind of hero. At least that's the idea behind having a good attack force, is to have at least one hero, even if it's just this transport guy. I mean, he doesn't provide any attack power, but he's giving you bonuses. And honestly, putting infantry in a transport troop carrier and then taking them to the next reinforcement point, is not actually a bad idea for starting starting strategy. I waste this bombing run here because I thought the building was going to last way longer than it really did, and so the battle's just kind of winding down at this point. So I don't know, I guess I have some time to bring you guys up to speed. So it's been like, I don't know, a month since my last video. I guess that's the result of both searching for a new apartment and a little bit of laziness. And in the meantime, I ordered a new set of headsets, because before I was actually, I don't know if you guys knew this, but I recorded my old videos without using any equipment at all. It was just my laptop speakers. So I actually ordered some real headsets, because my old ones, which I use for console, they kind of cracked and broke, and so I'm like, well, I might as well get one that's also good for PC, so I could do these commentaries. So I waited off on making the commentary until now because I wanted the headset to come in, so my voice sounds very crisp. So yeah, so that battle I won at heavy losses. If you consider Garm Belt Iblis a heavy loss. And now I don't have a fleet, so I'm probably going to have to use Admiral Akbar and some Mon Calamari ships to use as a replacement, which isn't that bad, but at the same time I could have extended that fleet's lifespan just a little bit more. But I retook some planets. I retook Felucia, I took Onderon, I took Zar. Honestly, the net result was positive, even though I lost quite a lot of ships. And I'm still continuing that X-Wing production. I got enough money to make a Nebulon B frigate, which doesn't seem like much, but when you start, piling it up, these forces start to add up, as small as they may be. And I finally built a shield generator at Bathory, so now I'm good. The fleet can leave, and now I can repurpose that Mon Calamari fleet somewhere else. And I also construct a shield generator on that planet Leia Organa was on. And yeah, so the defense is looking pretty good. I'm establishing a solid border. And it looks like, honestly, the rebellion is doing pretty good on hard difficulty. It's winning. So I'm excited to see what actually happens out of all this. Like, up to this point, it's been strategic placement of troops, trying to get, like, defenses up before the Empire starts attacking. In some places it worked, in some places it didn't, but I finally managed to reclaim most of my losses as this consortium fleet decides to book it the hell out of here because he's about to get slaughtered if he doesn't. So the rebellion's looking pretty good. I hope to have some interesting battles out of this stuff. But that's going to be it for now. I hope you enjoyed. Part 16 should be coming up pretty soon. I hope it doesn't take as long as last time. But yeah, I'll see you guys later, and have a nice day. Bye-bye.